Hey, I'm Dr. Andy Johnson, physical therapist with 5 and 2 Golf Performance, and this is Dr. Jeremy Wampler. And today we're going to be going over how you can work on your internal rotation of the trail side of the hip.
That's right.
And some exercises you can do to make that look a little bit better.
Yeah, let's talk about that just a little bit. We're going to be referencing a right-handed golfer, but this would work the same with a left-handed golfer as well, just flipping the leg. So if you're a right-handed golfer, when we talk about loading the trail hip, a lot of times we're thinking about turning into this hip into what we call internal rotation. Now, if I wind this hip up, if I can turn into this hip, that means I can also unwind it. And the more I wind it up, I have more potential to unwind it fast and create more power. But a lot of people, they hear these kind of things, or they watch these kind of videos and they say, okay, I want to load this hip, but they may have some restrictions in the hip or in the back of the muscles in the leg that make it really hard for them to load this. So we're going to talk about some of our favorites that you can do to start loading and improving your mobility, and then also once you do this, how to start improving your strength as well. So let's jump into this. I'm going to have Andy be my example. We're going to actually start with the hamstrings, because when we load this hip, if I want to load into this hip, when I start to load this back, it puts tug on my hamstring. So if I'm tight, it may make it hard for me to load, and I may want to stand up instead. So an easy way to stretch your hamstrings is if you're sitting down, you can sit on a chair or otherwise. If we want to stretch the right side, Andy's going to put his right leg in front, and then he's actually going to make sure he's not slumping through his back. He's going to keep up nice and tall, and then he's going to just hinge his chest forward, and he should feel some stretch in the back of his hamstring on the right side here. I like to have people hold this about a minute, although some people hold it a little less or even a little longer at times. But holding for this for about a minute helps, a lot of times helps people's hamstring length improve. So once Andy's done this for a minute, and for timing's sake, I won't make him hold it the whole minute now. So once he's done this for a minute, now we're going to work on the rotation part of the hip. The first one we're going to do is we're going to have Andy get on the ground here. And he's going to be laying on his back, and he'll spread his feet apart, and from here he's going to let his right hip drop into internal rotation, and he's going to hold it for a couple of seconds, and then he can rock the other way. Now if your focus was just the right side getting into internal rotation, you could just hang out in this position and the right one's going into internal rotation, but a lot of times I have people just rock back and forth. Many times I do this about 20 times with people, although that number is not exact. You could do a little more or a little less. But this is a good way to start getting the hip to rotate inwards. So let's fast forward. Let's say Andy's done this 20 times. Now, sometimes maybe you're doing this or trying to improve that, and you may feel a little pinch in the front of your hip. That can sometimes mean that the joint itself is getting a little restricted. And if you have a restricted hip joint, another tool that Andy and I like to use is a band. If we wrap the band around upper groin area here, it can take some pressure off the hip and allow it to rotate better. So we're going to have Andy put this around his right leg. And what he'll do is he'll step sideways away from the band, or away from where the attachment is the band. Let me skip on the other side of here. Until he's getting some tug in his hip. And then once he feels that tug in his hip, he's going to turn into that side. So he's going to turn into that side. And he's trying to work on getting his rotation inward. So he's trying to move his pelvis towards that hip without letting his knee flip way to the outside or coming on the outside of his foot. So same thing, I like to do this about 20 times. That's perfect, Andy. So let's take this off and let's talk about the last thing. So once we've loaded the hip, once we're improving the mobility for the hip, getting it to rotate inwards and getting the hamstring to loosen up, now we can start doing a combo where we get a little bit of a strength focus, but we also get some mobility focus with this next exercise. So if you have a cable machine, I'm going to have Andy stagger his stance where his right foot's going to go in front of his left. He's going to now extend his arms, and when he turns into his right hip, the cable is pulling him into internal rotation. So a couple things happen. One, it'll give him a great stretch in that right hip, but secondly, he has to use his hip musculature to control that, so he's learning not only how to use the mobility, but also how to create strength in that. Over time, Andy could raise the weight more and more on this as he wants to get stronger. He should really feel some contraction in that right glute area as he works on this. With this exercise, you could do it 20 times. If you were trying to build strength up, you'd probably get those numbers a little lower. Maybe 2 or 3 sets of about 10 repetitions is a good starting place. So these are some great exercises to do to start improving not only your ability to load that hip, but to have more strength and power in that position. Now you say something cool about subscribing.
Oh, how should I say that? Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you find these videos helpful, please like and subscribe so that you can get more videos about helping your golf game and moving better. And also check out the links in the description for more information on what we do.